I'm on the Cotswold Canals. This is a canal in restoration. There's loads going on behind me, work being dredged, and up ahead, something very exciting is just about to happen. Today I'm on the Cotswolds and we've got some exciting stuff coming up further down, but we get to that as we go through. Right now we are at Newtown Lock, and Newtown Lock is a lock that I think was restored previously. It definitely was in the 90s because they used some hollow blocks for some repairs. So on each side of these locks, there's such big locks, there's a ladder been cut into each side. They had massive problems, and when they were cutting it through, they literally just hit nothing and found rubble walls and all sorts. So it looks like they've got over all the problems there, and can kind of see them poking out now. I think the gates are going to have to be replaced on these. I believe the gates are probably going to have to be replaced on most of the locks going down through. They were installed in the 90s, so you know they're already 30 years old. So what they don't want to do is open this canal after all this work and find that the gates are knackered. So they've got to replace them every 30 years roughly for a wooden gate. And being the fact that they were built in and put in about 1990, they're already at the point where, although they've never really seen a great deal of boats, they're at the point where they need to be replaced. So we're at Blunder Lock now. We just jumped down. This is a small flight of 5, going to be 6 locks. And this is named because when they built it, they messed up. The alignment was slightly wrong, and they called it Blunder Lock for that. It's also known as the A419 lock because of the road there. But Blunder Lock over there, that's what they got here. Now this has been done, as you can see. There's ladders in here. The gates are probably again going to need to be replaced. Although this one does look quite shiny. I'm not too sure if they've done some work. These ones are slightly newer, actually look 2013 on those. So probably got a little bit of life left in them yet. You can see though, one thing about locks, which a lot of people don't understand, is when you're restoring a lock or repairing a lock on a working canal, it's got to be a bit careful nowadays. And this end is a perfect place to show it, because you can see on the gate, you can see all that moss, all that growth, and you can see into, coming out of here, you can see all the brickwork, and you can see all the little habitats growing out of the pointing and the holes in the brickwork. And what you've actually got here is entire ecosystems that are here because of the lock. And what they don't want to do is scrape all of that out, brick it back in, and lose that habitat. And these go right through the locks. So you've got sections here, and there'd be different sort of organisms and species and whatnot in the different sections. Obviously, something like it dry isn't going to stay in this section because they're going to drown every time it fills up. But the locks are an incredible, and all the structures are an incredible area of biodiversity, as is the whole canal network. So walking away now from Blunder Lock, we're going to walk through Dock Lock. Dock Lock is somewhere we've covered quite a bit because you're starting to enter the territory of Westfield Lock and the missing mile. This is the start of the missing mile here now, which they got planning permission for very recently. So what's happening here? Dock Lock. This has had loads of work done, as I've covered quite a bit. You've got the ladders in, the brickwork's all done, it's all been done, the scaffolding's now out, and that's ready to go for locks which are out for tender. But the exciting stuff is happening just ahead. Now we all know about the Westfield Lock, I've covered that massively. That is somewhere which loads has happened over the past, I don't know, year and a half maybe, where we've seen the lock completely dug out of the ground, the bridge exposed, they repaired the vast majority of the brickwork, and they were on the coping stones last time I was here. We'll see that in a minute. But first of all, we've got this. Now, things aren't looking much different at the moment. You've got Pike Bridge just behind me. And we come through into here. That's the water running down from the canal up above. And it's running down through this section here. But then, let's have a look at this. This has been cleared. You may remember my last video, they were here removing, I think it's voles from here. They had some traps in here, this was all shut off. Since then, since they've been removed, they've cleared everything. They've reprofiled banks, there's water running through, and they are getting ready now for stop planks just up ahead. This is all the stuff that's been dug out. So this was sort of sediment in the bottom of the canal, and you'll see sort of reeds dotted about in it, especially a bit further down, which we'll cover in a minute. It's dug out and it's put on the side here. So when they pull it out, they can't obviously take all the critters out. So it gets dumped on the side, it's near the canal. Anything that wants to get back in the canal can easily get back in the canal. And then often, I'm not too sure if this is the case here, in a while's time this will all be dug out and taken and processed. This is incredibly nutrient rich. It's years of duck poo, fish poo, you name it, it's in it, you know, plants breaking down, and it's fantastic fertilizer. And I think the trust are actually selling it or are planning to sell it at some point from their processing facilities just up the canal. One thing you will notice about this canal is just how deep it is and how wide it is. Now this used to carry the 7 Trows, which were a sort of a seagoing vessel, so they were much wider, about 15 foot and much deeper in the water. So most canals you're probably talking about 4 foot deep, maybe 5 at most. This is at least 6 to 10 foot deep, maybe even deeper. So this does help between locks. There's no pounds here as such. It's much wider, much deeper, holds much more water. Obviously the locks are bigger as well, so they do take more water, but there's obviously enough water in here to carry on. This is largely fed from the River Froome, which runs all the way from, pretty much from Sapperton Tunnel, all the way down through here until it reaches Seoul Junction on the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. At one point the canal is technically a river as well, where it does run into it and becomes part of the canal itself. I've been covering this canal now for about 1.5 to 2 years. And lots has been going on, tons has been going on behind the scenes, loads and loads of volunteer. They've only got, I think, 2 members of full-time staff. Everything else is volunteer-led. And they've been working to get this missing mile planning application through, get all the boxes ticked, get everything sorted so they can carry on this restoration. So to see this dug out and ready, for me, for the first time on this canal, is incredibly exciting. And what we're going to see now is we're going to see stop planks put in here, and this section will be filled. They can then carry on further down, and there's a culvert to go in to take the stream under, because it's on a new route, and then Westfield Bridge can carry on for the next couple of years. And then hopefully in around 5 years time we will see boats on this section. But first of all, let's do this. Here we go, here is the canal, and if by magic, and look at that, we have a canal. It is full. Now this has taken 5 months, so a lot longer than I was expecting. So unfortunately the weather's changed a little bit, it's a bit colder now. They had to do a lot of work over to the wall going into the old dock over there. They had a few bits to do with the clearing out and stuff. They had a ceremony a while back which I attended, and I actually made another video where I walked through this section of the canal as well. Yeah, they've done a great job. It's all stop planked off over here now and sort of sealed. You can see they've got the tarpaulin on it and stuff like that. That helps to seal the boards together as well, so the boards kind of sit on top of each other, and that's just an extra seal. But yeah, it is looking incredible. They've also moved spoil that came out of here, so you can see that was all up on the side here when I came that first time. That was back in March, it's mid-March. You can see just over there, so that's the old dock lock entrance there, and there would have been an old dry docking sort of there. Now that's been concreted in, there's block walls in there, all sorts, so they've done quite a lot to try and waterproof that section. It's amazing to see this in water. This now has the opportunity where they can work on this, do some planting, get everything ready, and you know, turn this back into the nature corridor that the rest of the canal is. So you've got the spillway over there as well, which is a horseshoe type one. There's a few of those on this canal. And back up towards Pike Lock over there on the bridge. So just up there is where we've just been. You've got Dock Lock, and then this section here is leading into John Robinson Lock. Now this is going to be the culvert just here, which I've kind of covered quite a lot. That's obviously been delayed with some sort of landowner issues here, which I won't go into. They can't get access down. So what they've done is this towpath here, and they put a bridge in across the stream, which is just over there. You can't really see it. So I think once work starts on this, they are ready to go with a diversion for the towpath, which is in fact actually where the towpath's supposed to be, I believe. So Westfield Lock has unfortunately stalled a little bit because of these delays. There's still stuff been going on down here, like I say, with the towpath. The coping stones have been added and stuff in places, but there's still a lot to do here. Now, if I turn you around and show you over the bottom here, you can kind of see it's full of water and not even been pumped out. Scaffolding ready to go to sort of do this section of wall here as well, which was kind of cleaned out. This was the worst part of the entire lock. They've obviously added sort of height onto each side, but that was really, really damaged down in there. We're at the end of the season now for sort of the big work camps. There are still some going around, but I don't think there's any more due down here. They moved on to the other end to Waymore Bridge, and done some bits down there. They've been doing another culvert and stuff down there. The WRG groups haven't been wasted on this, but they certainly could have been cracking on down here if they had the opportunity. So if you don't know who the WRG are, it's the Waterways Recovery Group, and they basically go all over the country doing stuff on canals. They've got forestry groups and they've got other groups, and they do absolutely everything from clearing an area to building a lock for you. And they are really, really helpful in these restorations. They help push these big projects on. Now you can keep an eye on these things by signing up to them. Now they do a Navi's newsletter, I think it's every 2 months. It's like a small magazine, and it's fantastic, and it covers a huge part of the network, and I get loads of information from there. It's a good place to start sort of researching projects, getting this magazine. It's not expensive to do, so check in the description and you'll be able to see where you can sign up for them. So this is where the canal would have gone straight across here, but this is now the Forest Green Rovers training ground. The access used to be sort of down through here, but they can't come down there now. It means they can't get the big diggers down here basically. So that can't go across there now because it's now training pitches. So it's coming across here. And this is part of the missing mile that's just been approved this year. So hopefully later this year, maybe next year, we might start seeing canal dug out here. There's going to be a new lock over there. It's going to go under the M5 and then back across to the A38 roundabouts. So fingers crossed, there might be a lot of updates from here quite soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this update video. It's took 5 months to make, but it's always worth it to see these projects just come on, and water in a canal is always an amazing thing to see. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.